Albuquerque, New Mexico, from desert trading post to modern metropolis. How one city conquered the high desert. Picture this. You're standing in the middle of what seems like endless desert, surrounded by nothing but sagebrush and tumbleweeds, wondering how anyone could possibly build a thriving city here. Yet right before your eyes stands Albuquerque, a bustling metropolis of over 500,000 people that somehow not only survived, but absolutely flourished in one of America's most challenging environments. This is the story of how a small Spanish settlement became the cultural and economic heart of New Mexico, overcoming droughts, conflicts, and geographic isolation to emerge as a modern success story that continues to surprise visitors and residents alike. What you're about to discover will change everything you thought you knew about desert cities. From its humble beginnings as a rest stop for Spanish conquistadors to its current status as a major hub for technology, film production, and renewable energy, Albuquerque's journey is filled with unexpected twists, remarkable innovations, and the kind of resilience that only comes from people who refuse to let the desert defeat them. The transformation didn't happen overnight, and it certainly wasn't easy. This city faced problems that would have killed most settlements: water scarcity that threatened extinction, economic booms and busts that left entire neighborhoods empty, cultural conflicts that divided communities, and geographic challenges that made growth seem impossible. Yet each time Albuquerque faced what seemed like an insurmountable obstacle, its people found creative solutions that not only solved immediate problems, but laid the foundation for future prosperity. If you're fascinated by stories of American ingenuity and want to discover how cities overcome seemingly impossible challenges, you absolutely need to subscribe to Town Tales right now. Hit that like button because this story gets even more incredible, and share this video with anyone who loves learning about the hidden histories that shaped our country. Trust me, you won't want to miss what comes next. Our story begins in 1706, when Spanish colonial governor Francisco Cuervo y Valdez established what he called La Villa de Albuquerque, named after the Duke of Albuquerque back in Spain. The extra got dropped somewhere along the way, probably because American tongues found it easier to say without it. But even before the Spanish arrived, this high desert valley along the Rio Grande had been home to Pueblo peoples for centuries, who understood something the newcomers would have to learn the hard way. Surviving here meant working with the desert, not against it. The original settlement was strategic, positioned where the ancient Camino Real trade route crossed the Rio Grande. Spanish colonists quickly realized they'd found something special, a place where the river provided reliable water, the surrounding mesas offered protection, and the elevation kept temperatures more bearable than the brutal heat of lower desert regions. Still, those early years were tough. Imagine trying to farm in a place where it might not rain for months, where winter temperatures could drop below freezing, and where the nearest major settlement was hundreds of miles away through hostile territory. The colonists' first major challenge came with water management. The Rio Grande was unreliable, sometimes flooding catastrophically, other times reduced to a trickle. The solution came from learning indigenous irrigation techniques and combining them with Spanish engineering knowledge. They built an elaborate acequias system, a network of irrigation channels that distributed river water throughout the valley. These acequias weren't just functional. They became the backbone of community life, with strict rules about water sharing that are still honored today. By the early 1800s, Albuquerque had evolved into a proper frontier town, complete with a central plaza surrounded by adobe buildings that kept interiors cool during scorching summers and warm during frigid winters. The plaza became the heart of community life, hosting markets, festivals, and public gatherings. Local families like the Armias and Oteros built trading empires that stretched from Missouri to Mexico City, turning Albuquerque into a crucial stop on the Santa Fe Trail. Then came 1846 and the Mexican-American War, which changed everything. Suddenly, this remote Spanish colonial outpost found itself part of the United States, bringing new opportunities but also new challenges. American Territorial Governor General Stephen W. Kearny marched into the plaza and claimed New Mexico for the United States without firing a shot. But the real transformation was just beginning. The arrival of the railroad in 1880 marked Albuquerque's first great boom. The Atchison, Topeka, and Santa Fe Railway needed a major depot and repair facility, and Albuquerque's location made perfect sense. Suddenly, this isolated desert town was connected to the rest of America. The railroad brought jobs, immigrants, and commerce on a scale nobody had imagined. Within a decade, the population doubled, then doubled again. But here's where things get interesting. The railroad company decided decided to build New Town about 2 miles east of the original plaza, creating what locals still call Old Town and New Town. This split the community and created tension that lasted for decades. Old Town represented traditional Hispanic culture and colonial architecture, while New Town embodied American ambition and modern development. Eventually, as the city grew, these two distinct areas merged into one community, but you can still see this dual identity throughout Albuquerque today. The early 1900s brought another wave of growth when tuberculosis patients began arriving seeking the high desert's dry climate for treatment. Sanitariums sprouted throughout the city, and many patients who came for their health ended up staying permanently. This influx brought educated, often wealthy individuals who contributed significantly to the city's cultural and economic development. The Presbyterian Hospital, founded in 1908, became one of the region's premier medical facilities and remains a major employer today. During the 1920s and 1930s, Albuquerque experienced what locals call the aviation age. The city's high altitude, clear skies, and wide open spaces made it perfect for aircraft testing and training. When World War II began, this aviation infrastructure proved invaluable. Kirtland Air Force Base was established in 1941, bringing thousands of military personnel and their families to the area. But the really big change came with the Manhattan Project. While most people know about Los Alamos, fewer realize that Albuquerque played a crucial supporting role in developing the atomic bomb. Kirtland became a major logistics hub, and Sandia National Laboratories was established here in 1949 to handle nuclear weapons engineering and testing. Suddenly, this desert city was at the center of America's nuclear program, bringing thousands of scientists, engineers, and support personnel. The post-war boom was spectacular. Between 1940 and 1960, Albuquerque's population grew from about 35,000 to over 200,000. New subdivisions sprawled across the desert. Shopping centers replaced downtown commercial districts, and the city spread in all directions. The University of New Mexico, founded in 1889, expanded rapidly and became a major research institution, particularly in medicine, engineering, and the sciences. Speaking of the university, it's worth pausing here to mention the QR code you'll see on your screen right now. Scan it or check the link in our description for additional photos, maps, and resources about everything we're discussing. You'll find historical images that really bring these stories to life, plus current information for anyone thinking about visiting or relocating to Albuquerque. The 1960s and 1970s brought cultural renaissance. Albuquerque embraced its multicultural heritage like never before. The Indian Pueblo Cultural Center opened in 1976, celebrating the traditions of New Mexico's 19 Pueblo communities. The Hispanic Cultural Center followed later, preserving and promoting the rich Spanish colonial and Mexican heritage that defined the city's early centuries. These weren't just tourist attractions. They represented a community decision to honor and preserve cultural diversity rather than let it disappear under pressure to assimilate. Food culture flourished during this period too. Albuquerque developed its own distinctive cuisine, blending Native American, Hispanic, and Anglo influences. Green chili became the unofficial city symbol, with local varieties like the Hatch Green chili achieving legendary status among food enthusiasts. Local restaurants like Sadie's of New Mexico and the Frontier became institutions, serving dishes you literally cannot find anywhere else in the world. The question everyone asks about green chili deserves a proper answer. It's not just a condiment here, it's a way of life. Every fall, the entire city fills with the aroma of roasting chiles as families buy them by the bushel, roast them in parking lots, and freeze enough to last through winter. Grocery stores compete to offer the best roasting services, and restaurants stake their reputations on chili quality. When locals ask red or green, they're not making small talk. They're asking you to declare your allegiance in a culinary tradition that goes back centuries. The 1980s brought economic diversification that probably saved the city from the defense spending cuts that devastated many military-dependent communities. Technology companies began discovering Albuquerque's advantages: highly educated workforce, relatively low costs, excellent transportation infrastructure, and proximity to major research institutions. Intel built a major facility here in 1980, eventually becoming the city's largest private employer. Other high-tech companies followed, creating what locals started calling Silicon Mesa. The entertainment industry discovered Albuquerque somewhat accidentally. The state offered attractive tax incentives for film production, but it was the city's unique landscape and architecture that really sold directors. Suddenly, Albuquerque was doubling for everywhere from suburban America to alien planets. The hit television series Breaking Bad, filmed entirely in Albuquerque, showcased the city's diverse neighborhoods and stunning natural settings to a global audience, creating an unexpected tourism boom that continues today. Weather played a huge role in shaping Albuquerque's character. This high desert climate means over 310 days of sunshine annually, with low humidity that makes even summer heat more bearable than in humid regions. Winter brings occasional snow, but it rarely stays long. The four distinct seasons, combined with dramatic daily temperature variations, created a culture of outdoor enthusiasts. Hiking, biking, skiing, and hot air ballooning became integral parts of local life. Speaking of ballooning, the Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta started in 1972 with just 13 balloons, has grown into the world's largest hot air balloon event. Every October, hundreds of balloons fill the sky in what locals call mass ascensions, creating one of the most photographed events in the world. The fiesta brings hundreds of thousands of visitors and generates millions in economic impact. But more importantly, it represents Albuquerque's ability to turn natural advantages into cultural celebrations. The healthcare industry became another major economic pillar. The combination of clean air, sunshine, and growing retiree population attracted medical facilities and research institutions. The University of New Mexico Hospital became a Level 1 trauma center serving the entire region. Presbyterian healthcare services expanded into a major health system. Lovelace Medical Center, originally founded to treat tuberculosis patients, evolved into a comprehensive medical complex known for aerospace medicine and research. Education transformed dramatically too. Besides the University of New Mexico, the city attracted community colleges, trade schools, and specialized institutions. The National American University, Southwestern Indian Polytechnic Institute, and several other colleges created a diverse educational ecosystem. Public schools faced challenges common to growing southwestern cities, but innovative programs in areas like STEM education and bilingual instruction earned national recognition. The art scene exploded in ways nobody expected. The combination of Native American traditions, Hispanic heritage, Anglo influences, and newcomers from around the world created a unique creative environment. The Albuquerque Museum showcased regional art and history. Galleries throughout Old Town and downtown featured local artists working in traditional and contemporary styles. The annual gathering of nations powwow became one of the largest Native American cultural events in North America. Music deserves special mention. Albuquerque developed its own sound, blending traditional New Mexican folk music with contemporary influences. Local venues like the historic Chemo Theater, originally built in 1927, hosted everything from touring Broadway shows to local mariachi bands. The city's music scene produced notable musicians while providing venues for established artists to connect with Southwestern audiences. Sports culture reflected the city's diverse population and outdoor orientation. The University of New Mexico Lobos became fierce competitors in college basketball and football, with the Pitt Arena earning a reputation as one of the most intimidating venues in college sports. Professional soccer arrived with New Mexico United, whose rapid success surprised even optimistic fans. But the real sports story was recreational. Mountain biking, rock climbing, skiing, and other outdoor activities that took advantage of the region's natural playground. The 1990s and early 2000s brought new challenges and opportunities. The end of the Cold War reduced defense spending, forcing economic diversification. The dot-com boom and bust affected local technology companies. Population growth strained infrastructure and created urban sprawl that concerned longtime residents. Water rights became increasingly important as growth pressured the region's limited water resources. Local government responded with innovative planning initiatives. The city invested heavily in public transportation, including a rapid transit system connecting key corridors. Water conservation programs reduced per capita consumption even as population grew. Historic preservation efforts protected Old Town and other significant areas while allowing controlled development. Green building initiatives recognized that sustainable development was essential in a desert environment. The 2008 recession hit Albuquerque hard, but the city's diversified economy proved resilient. While construction and retail suffered, healthcare, education, and technology sectors remained stable. Federal facilities like Kirtland Air Force Base and Sandia National educational laboratories provided economic anchors. The film industry actually expanded during this period, as productions sought cost-effective locations. Recovery brought renewed focus on economic development. The city actively recruited technology companies, renewable energy firms, and advanced manufacturing. Facebook built a massive data center here, taking advantage of the high desert's natural cooling and renewable energy potential. Aerospace companies discovered advantages in Albuquerque's elevation, clear skies, and existing infrastructure. Medical device manufacturers found the educated workforce and research partnerships they needed. Crime became a significant challenge during the 2000s and 2010s, with property crime and drug-related violence affecting quality of life. Community policing initiatives, neighborhood watch programs, and investment in youth programs showed gradual progress. The complexity of addressing crime in a rapidly growing, economically diverse city required sustained effort and community cooperation. Transportation infrastructure evolved constantly. Interstate 25 and Interstate 40 intersect in Albuquerque, making it a major distribution hub. The Albuquerque International Sunport serves as the state's primary airport, with connections throughout the United States and Mexico. Rail service includes both freight and passenger options, with Amtrak's Southwest Chief providing daily service to Chicago and Los Angeles. Housing reflected the city's growth and challenges. Historic adobe neighborhoods in Old Town contrasted with modern subdivisions spreading across the desert. The Northeast Heights became known for luxury homes with mountain views, while the West Side offered newer development at lower prices. Affordable housing initiatives tried to ensure that teachers, service workers, and other essential employees could afford to live in the communities they served. Environmental consciousness grew as residents recognized their relationship with the high desert ecosystem. Water conservation became a way of life, with xeriscaping replacing traditional lawns and low-flow fixtures becoming standard. Solar energy adoption accelerated, taking advantage of abundant sunshine. Air quality initiatives addressed concerns about dust storms and urban pollution. Cultural preservation took on new urgency as rapid growth threatened historic neighborhoods and traditions. The Albuquerque Cultural Services Department worked to document and preserve everything from colonial architecture to contemporary murals. Language preservation programs supported both Spanish and indigenous languages. Traditional crafts like pottery, weaving, and jewelry making found new markets while maintaining authentic techniques. The food scene continued evolving, with new restaurants celebrating the city's cultural diversity while honoring traditional flavors. Green chili appeared on everything from pizza to ice cream, sometimes successfully, sometimes as novelty items that amused tourists more than locals. Farmers markets flourished, connecting urban consumers with rural producers and supporting local agriculture. Today's Albuquerque represents the successful evolution of a desert city that refused to accept limitations. The metropolitan area includes over 900,000 people, making it the largest urban center between Phoenix and Denver, El Paso, and Colorado Springs. Major employers include government facilities, healthcare systems, educational institutions, and private companies in technology, aerospace, and renewable energy. The challenges haven't disappeared. Water rights remain contentious as climate change affects river flows and groundwater levels. Economic inequality reflects national trends, with some neighborhoods thriving while others struggle. Growth management requires constant attention to prevent the sprawl that has affected other southwestern cities. But the opportunities are extraordinary. Renewable energy potential is virtually unlimited, with solar and wind resources that could power far more than local needs. The combination of research institutions, federal laboratories, and private companies creates innovation potential that attracts entrepreneurs and established businesses alike. Cultural resources provide foundations for tourism, entertainment, and creative industries that complement traditional economic sectors. The natural setting remains Albuquerque's greatest asset and responsibility. The Sandia Mountains rise dramatically east of the city, providing hiking, skiing, and spectacular views. The Rio Grande Bosque offers green space and wildlife habitat in the heart of the metropolitan area. Petroglyphs National Monument preserves thousands of ancient rock carvings while providing recreational opportunities for current residents. Climate advantages that attracted the first settlers continue drawing new residents. The high desert environment means comfortable temperatures most of the year, low humidity that benefits people with respiratory conditions, and sunshine that supports both solar energy and outdoor recreation. Extreme weather is rare. Those summer monsoons and occasional winter storms remind everyone that they live in a natural environment that demands respect. Looking forward, Albuquerque is positioning itself as a leader in renewable energy, aerospace innovation, and cultural preservation. The city's unique combination of scientific expertise, cultural diversity, and natural resources creates opportunities that exist nowhere else. Young professionals, retirees, entrepreneurs, and families continue discovering what longtime residents have always known. This is a special place where different cultures, ideas, and dreams come together in ways that create something entirely new while honoring something very old. The story of Albuquerque proves that geography doesn't determine destiny. A small Spanish colonial outpost in an isolated desert valley became a thriving modern metropolis by adapting to challenges, embracing opportunities, and never forgetting the cultural foundations that make this place unique. From acequia irrigation systems to solar power arrays, from Pueblo pottery to semiconductor manufacturing, from green chili to green energy, this city continues writing an American success story that inspires anyone who believes in the power of human ingenuity and community cooperation. The future looks incredibly bright for this high desert metropolis that has consistently defied expectations. Major infrastructure projects are transforming transportation networks, with the ART Rapid Transit System connecting key corridors and reducing dependence on personal vehicles. The rail trail provides safe walking and cycling routes throughout the metropolitan area, while the Paseo del Bosque offers miles of trails along the Rio Grande that showcase the natural beauty that makes this city special. Education continues evolving with innovative programs that prepare students for tomorrow's economy while celebrating the cultural heritage that makes Albuquerque unique. Dual language immersion programs ensure that Spanish and English speakers can excel in both languages, creating advantages in an increasingly global economy. STEM programs partner with local research institutions to provide hands-on learning opportunities that inspire the next generation of scientists, engineers, and innovators. The startup ecosystem is thriving beyond anyone's expectations. Local entrepreneurs are developing solutions for water conservation, renewable energy, aerospace technology, and healthcare challenges that have applications far beyond New Mexico. The combination of university research, national laboratory expertise, and venture capital investment creates an environment where breakthrough innovations can happen and scale successfully. Tourism continues growing as visitors discover what locals have always known about this special place. The Breaking Bad tours that started as novelty attractions have evolved into comprehensive cultural experiences that showcase the city's neighborhoods, architecture, and authentic character. Culinary tourism brings food enthusiasts seeking authentic New Mexican cuisine, while outdoor recreation draws adventurers to hiking trails, rock climbing areas, and skiing slopes that offer world-class experiences just minutes from downtown hotels. The arts community represents one of Albuquerque's greatest success stories. Local galleries feature work by Native American artists whose families have lived here for generations alongside contemporary artists drawn by the creative energy and affordable studio space. The annual Jetta Los Muertos celebration transforms downtown into a vibrant cultural festival that honors Mexican traditions while embracing community participation from all backgrounds. Public art installations throughout the city create outdoor galleries that make art accessible to everyone, not just museum visitors. Healthcare innovation positions Albuquerque as a regional leader in medical research and treatment. The University of New Mexico's Cancer Research Center attracts patients and researchers from throughout the Southwest. Telemedicine programs connect rural communities with specialist care, while medical device companies develop technologies that improve patient outcomes worldwide. The combination of excellent facilities, skilled professionals, and ongoing research creates a healthcare ecosystem that serves both current residents and future growth. Environmental stewardship has become a defining characteristic of modern Albuquerque. Solar installations on residential and commercial buildings generate clean energy while reducing utility costs. Water harvesting systems capture precious rainwater for landscape irrigation. Native plant gardens replace water-intensive lawns while providing habitat for local wildlife. These aren't just environmental initiatives, they're economic strategies that reduce costs while creating sustainable growth patterns. The cultural fusion that defines Albuquerque continues creating new traditions while preserving ancient ones. The annual Gathering of Nations powwow brings together Native American communities from across North America, creating economic impact while celebrating indigenous cultures. Mariachi festivals showcase musical traditions that connect the city to its Mexican heritage. Contemporary art installations in Old Town create dialogue between colonial architecture and modern expression. Local businesses reflect the entrepreneurial spirit that has always characterized this community. Family restaurants serve recipes passed down through generations alongside innovative chefs who create fusion cuisine that honors traditional flavors while embracing contemporary techniques. Craft breweries develop beers that incorporate local ingredients like piñon nuts and green chili. Artisan workshops produce handmade goods that celebrate Southwestern aesthetics while meeting modern quality standards. The sports culture continues evolving as new facilities and programs serve a growing population. The Isotopes baseball team provides professional sports entertainment in a family-friendly environment that showcases the city's personality. Youth sports programs create opportunities for children from all backgrounds to participate in activities that build character while promoting physical fitness. Adult recreation leagues allow residents to maintain active lifestyles while building community connections. Transportation infrastructure improvements are transforming how people move through the metropolitan area. The expanded trail system connects neighborhoods with business districts, reducing traffic congestion while promoting healthy transportation alternatives. Improved public transit serves working families who depend on reliable, affordable transportation. The Sunport continues expanding service to destinations throughout the United States and Mexico, supporting both business travel and tourism. Economic development initiatives focus on sustainable growth that creates good jobs while preserving the quality of life that makes Albuquerque special. The film industry has established permanent infrastructure that supports ongoing production while training local residents for careers in entertainment technology. Aerospace companies find a specialized workforce and testing facilities they need to develop next-generation aircraft and spacecraft. Renewable energy projects provide construction jobs today and maintenance careers for decades to come. The restaurant scene deserves special recognition for how it captures the essence of Albuquerque's cultural diversity. Establishments like El Pinto serve traditional New Mexican dishes in settings that celebrate the region's architectural heritage. Food trucks offer authentic street food that reflects the city's Mexican connections. Upscale restaurants create innovative dishes that showcase local ingredients while meeting the expectations of sophisticated diners from around the world. Community organizations demonstrate the civic engagement that has always characterized Albuquerque residents. Neighborhood associations work to maintain property values while preserving community character. Volunteer groups support everything from literacy programs to environmental cleanup efforts. Cultural preservation societies document traditions and languages that might otherwise disappear as the city continues growing and changing. The retail landscape reflects both local preferences and national trends. Old Town shops offer handmade goods and authentic Southwestern merchandise that tourists seek while providing income for local artisans. Modern shopping centers provide convenient access to national retailers while supporting local employment. Farmers markets connect urban consumers with rural producers, supporting local agriculture while providing fresh, seasonal produce. Looking ahead, Albuquerque's greatest opportunities lie in leveraging its unique combination of natural resources, cultural heritage, and technological expertise. The city is perfectly positioned to become a leader in renewable energy development, taking advantage of abundant sunshine and wind resources to generate clean power for regional and national markets. Aerospace innovation continues attracting companies that need the specialized facilities and expertise that exist here. Water management remains the critical challenge that will determine the city's long-term success. Climate change affects precipitation patterns and river flows, while population growth increases demand for this precious resource. Innovative conservation programs, water recycling systems, and sustainable development practices will determine whether Albuquerque can continue growing while maintaining the quality of life that attracts new residents. The story of Albuquerque proves that American cities can thrive by embracing their unique characteristics rather than trying to imitate other places. This high-desert metropolis succeeded by working with its environment rather than against it, by celebrating cultural diversity rather than demanding assimilation, and by investing in innovation while preserving traditions that give the community its distinctive character. If you feel pride in what American communities can accomplish when they work together, if you're grateful for the cultural diversity that makes our country stronger, and if you want to see more cities find ways to thrive while honoring their heritage, then subscribe to Town Tales right now. Leave a like to support this content, and share this video with everyone who loves learning about the hidden stories that shaped America. While you're here, check out our videos about Santa Fe, Las Cruces, Roswell, and other incredible New Mexico communities that each have their own amazing stories to tell. And don't forget to ring that notification bell, because we're constantly discovering new chapters in the ongoing story of American cities that continue surprising the world with their resilience, creativity, and determination to build something better for the next generation.